Fake news has been getting a lot of attention these days, but it's not actually that new. News that contains false information or propaganda published under the pretext of being authentic news has been around for nearly 100 years. But as online access and social media sharing increases, so does our need to learn how to differentiate between truthful articles and false stories. Although there are many strategies, I turned to other social media users to identify 5 techniques to recognize whether the story you are reading is based on fact or just appealing to your emotions by using misleading or false information. So I asked each of them, when getting your news, what strategies do you use to identify whether the story might be fake?
I always read beyond the headlines.
Headlines can be purposely misleading to act as clickbait. What's the whole story? Always read a little further to determine whether the information is worth sharing or if it's just meant to grasp at your emotions. Clickbait and fake news strive for extreme reactions and can include several revealing signs in the text. Look for outrageous citations or text that makes you really angry or super smug, which are often signs that the story may fall into the category of fake news.
I will research the news site and the author.
Is the site legitimate, or is it known for printing misleading information? Is it a satire site? Check the site's About Us section to see who supports the site and whether it is promoted as a satire or fantasy site. In addition, look at the site's URL. If the address ends in .com.co, chances are it's not a legitimate news site. For example, abcnews.com.co is a known fake news website that mimics the URL, design, and logo of ABC News and has been the source of many false stories that have gone viral.
Well, typically I like to check back and look at the author's sources.
Many times, these fake stories will quote official or official-sounding sources. However, when you look into it, the cited source doesn't back up the claim. Do citations in the story hyperlink to other quality sources? Or, when you look it up, do you discover that the linked website does not have anything to do with the claim? Bogus sources are a good sign that the article you're reading might be fake.
I check the date of the article or the broadcast to make sure that it's a recent story.
Some fake news stories aren't always completely false, but are just a distortion on current facts. Sometimes, older news stories are used to twist the point of a legitimate news story to fit the current claim. For example, one may attempt to claim credit for an action that occurred in November of 2016, but quote a news story from 2015. This would imply that the article did not relate to the current events being discussed and emphasizes the inaccuracies within the current report. I will look into how other experts have also covered the story. Are other credible mainstream news outlets reporting the same news? If they're not, it doesn't mean it's not true, but it does mean you should dig deeper. Also, rely on the sources that investigate for a living. Between factcheck.org, Snopes.com, the Washington Post Fact Checker, and PolitiFact.com, it's likely at least one has already fact-checked the latest viral claim to pop up in your newsfeed. Thanks, guys. These ideas sound like a great start. Although there are many more ways to identify whether an article is fake, following these 5 strategies will lay out a solid plan to identify accurate news sources. Let's review. Read beyond the headline. Check the site or the author. Review the source. Check the date. And look into coverage by other experts. Now, go forth and spread accurate information.